And we just want to thank you all for joining us today for What's New on Survey Analytics. My name is Esther Lavielle, and I have with us Andrew Jevons, Rudley Raphael, and John Johnson. So, four of us is going to show you all the new items and things that you can use as a Survey Analytics customer. Oops. So on our agenda today, we're going to be talking about Survey Pocket, which is our mobile field application tool, micropanel, and then we'll also let you know of new updates and changes that we've made on the Survey Analytics online platform. And that includes admin updates and changes that you can make, FTP syncing QR codes, exporting the reports, and API, and also Google Analytics. So the first thing that we're going to speak of today is Survey Pocket, and we're going to go ahead and pass this over to Andrew.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Jevons. I'm Executive Vice President of Survey Analytics, and I'd like to talk to you about something that we've been developing now for the past 5 or 6 months called Survey Pocket. And Survey Pocket is an application that runs on iPhones and iPads, and I think iPod Touches, but I need to check that. And the great thing that it allows you to do is to run surveys on these applications, whether or not you're connected to the internet. And so this means that you've got a great deal of flexibility, and you can really take the surveys to where the respondents are. Esther, next slide, please. Okay, as I said, this is an application that works off the standard Survey Analytics questionnaire development system, the one that you're used to using on the web, the one that you use to develop your existing questionnaires. But it runs on what's termed Apple iOS devices, and this gives you a great way of having a questionnaire that you can actually take with you into a store or out anywhere, in fact, where you can get hold of your respondents. A trade show is a good example, and ask them the questions. And then if you're connected to the internet, the responses can be uploaded immediately. If you're not connected, the responses will be saved, and then when you get back to a place where you have a web connection, you can push a button and all the information is uploaded and is available immediately in your Survey Analytics account for you to do analysis and whatever you need to do. We've also just implemented in version 2.7 branching and skip logic, so this gives you even more flexibility in terms of the questionnaires that you can run. Next slide, please. Here are a few of the advantages of this sort of interviewing mode. With traditional field research, very often you're using paper questionnaires, and the problem with paper questionnaires is that it takes several days. You can't get the data immediately. With Survey Pocket, of course, the results are available immediately. All the surveys, and these surveys could be run anywhere in the country, in fact, anywhere in the world, they will all be uploaded to one account, to your Survey Analytics account, and everybody can see the results immediately. There are also issues when you use paper in terms of accuracy of the results. Sometimes input errors occur. With Survey Pocket, you don't have that problem. There can be checks done and the data will be accurate. You can also change the survey. Once paper questionnaires have been printed and sent out, they're cast in stone until you've made a new version and sent them out to all your interviewers. The advantage of Survey Pocket is that you can edit the survey overnight or when field is finished, and the next day the edited survey can be available to all the interviewers. As I said, you can access the results in real time through the existing dashboard functionality, and there's also the feature that you can allow the respondents to be tracked via GPS tracking, or indeed there are facilities, which is what you'll see on the emulator when I show you in a moment, that allows you to find out where people are based on the connection address they use when they're on the web. It's a bit technical, but there is a way of doing this. What this means is that you're able to find out where the interviews actually took place. And unfortunately, what can happen with paper is that people will sometimes cheat. The interviewers may not actually go out and do the interviews. And this is a great way of being able to check that the data collection has actually occurred. Next slide, please. Okay, now we're up for the demo. So Esther, if you'd like to hand control over to me. And I just want to check now, Esther, can you see my screen? Can you see the iPad?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. This is and actually I'll go back to surveys here, to the opening screen of Survey Pocket. This gives you an idea of what you would see when you start up Survey Pocket. There's a list of surveys here. We're going to use this one that says Survey Pocket Demo Webinar. There's a couple of other things I'd like to show you. There's this button down at the right here that gives you the settings. Now, Survey Pocket works on a principle using a device key, which you can attain. If you want to try this out, get in contact with your account manager. They'd be happy to provide you with a device key so that you can evaluate the application. There's a few other capabilities here. You can loop the survey. If I just click that, it goes back and forth. What that means is that when the interviewer finishes the survey, it goes back to the beginning of that survey. And so it's like having a portable kiosk so that they're ready for the next person. They really don't need to know anything other than just keep giving the survey. You can tell the system to capture location data. I'm going to turn that on. I'll turn on the loop as well just so you can see that. You can also tell the system to, if there is a web connection, to connect in real time. I think it's more interesting if we don't do that. And what that really means is that if it can find a web connection, it will actually upload the data as it's being collected. And there's an auto-correction feature for when you're doing text. I'm going to turn that off. The rest of this is just information about you and the version of software that you're using. Now, the interesting button down here is synchronize. Now, if I synchronize this, and you can see here there's a 3 here, this indicates there are 3 responses that haven't been uploaded. If I synchronize, 2 things happen. Data that had been collected offline will be uploaded to the Survey Analytics account. And also, new versions of the surveys will be downloaded. So I click Synchronize, it's uploading the responses, fetching the surveys, and it's done. Okay, let's go in and show a survey. Now, this is an example of the geolocation features, which either use GPS or the IP address of the connection. And here it's showing that I'm actually in sunny Cincinnati, which actually isn't very sunny at all. And the little pin here shows where you are. It's a great way to remind the interviewer or the respondent that we are tracking what's going on. You can turn this off if you're worried about privacy issues, and it should be something that you check with the respondent or the interviewer before you start fielding the survey. We'll start the survey with this button. It's going to ask me for my name. I'm going to type this in because I'm actually obviously running this on my laptop. And now we just click on there and we get to the next question. This is an example of a single response question. So I'm going to fill in that I'm actually a male. Now, which of the following household items do you currently own? This is a multiple choice. I can select all of these, or I can select just one of them. I'm going to click on wireless internet. I do have a lot of this other stuff. I've actually got a Roku and a DVR. Let's go to next. Now, which of the ones can you absolutely cannot live without? Well, I happen to know that if I respond to wireless internet, we'll have an example of the branching here. So I'm just going to respond to that, and this is a single response again, so we only have one response available. Why can't I live with it? Keeps me connected to the rest of the world. And this is a standard open end, same as the open ends that you're used to in Survey Analytics. This is asking me how long I've lived at my current residence. It doesn't allow text, ordinary alphabet characters. I'm trying to type in stuff here. It'll only allow what's down on the keyboard here. This is an example of the slider scales we can have on here. You can have a greater range of values. I'm going to say, of course, that this experience is excellent. You can move them back and forth, and of course on the iPad this is all done with the touch screen. And this is an example of how we go back in a loop to the next survey, because I set looping survey on. Now if I go back to home here, I'd like to serve this survey as incomplete, and I'll synchronize. I've got one incompleted interview and one completed interview, so we've got two. Synchronize, data's uploaded, and we're done. As I said, we're very happy to provide everybody with one free license key. So if you are interested in this, get in touch with your account manager, and we'd be happy to help you set this up. So Esther, I think I'm finished there.
Great, thank you so much. So in the next part here, we're going to go ahead and speak to you about micro panels. So Redley, when you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and queue up my thing once again here. Just 1 second.
Great. Can you hear me, Esther?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So great. All right, here. So, just let me. Okay, here we are.
All right, great. Hi, everyone. Thanks again for your attendance. My name is Rodley Raphael. I'm the Director of Panel Solution at Survey Analytics. I want to take a little bit of time to talk to you about MicroPanel, which is our version of panel management software combined with sampling services along with mobile application, all wrapped into one for our customers. MicroPanel was launched a little less than a year ago in an effort to provide our customers help them in completing the full research cycle by offering sampling, panel management services, all under one platform, really. MicroPanel is part of the Survey Analytics ecosystem, which combines all the great tools that are available by Survey Analytics. Before we get started, I want to take a little time to talk about the online panel landscape, how it relates to you as a panel manager, as a panel developer. And virtually, it's something that was non-existent a decade ago. Right now, you can find it almost anywhere. Online research has become what I call the data collection mode of choice, replacing more traditional methods such as face-to-face and telephone interviewing, which can be extremely expensive. The economy certainly has affected the industry somewhat, and panel providers have seen the most dramatic growth in the AMR sector. With more than $2 billion spent on research in 2009, we expect this trend to somewhat continue, where online panels will see a lot of good returns in their investment. About 85% of online research spending, ironically, is supported by online panels, while the industry has been experiencing some serious issues with regards to budget cuts, but online panels have seen a significant growth in the sector. The online panel is still dominated by a handful of providers who account for more than 50% of all panel revenue. If you look out there today, you will see that there's at least a consumer panel popping up almost everywhere. Now, combined with the rise of social media and the anticipated growth of the mobile industry, we can expect online panels to be very dominant in the next decade or so. Next slide, please, Esther. All right, so if you're a customer or just curious about online panels, or don't know anything about it, or want to launch your panel, what reasons do you have to launch an online panel? What are the advantages of really launching your own online panel? Well, the first one, obviously, it's quick research turnaround. Online panel will provide you with a readily qualified pool of individuals that can be accessed day and night within 24 hours, depending on the population and also the complexity of the survey as well. The second important item, obviously, is data quality. Since it's your panel, you dictate the survey content, when to send the survey, and what incentive to offer in order to maximize response rate and also the data quality. Response rate, again, is another key component or key advantage in having managing your own panel. Online panels typically yield a much higher response rate in comparison to other data collection methodologies. Most users have access to their email. The ability to respond to a survey at your convenience also make it less intrusive and provide a level of comfort for respondents as well. So you can expect, if you've been purchasing lists, magazine publication to supplement your data collection efforts, with your own internally managed panel, you should see some better response rate, upwards to 25 to 30%, depending on the population. More targeted niche populations tend to be more responsive because they're a little bit savvy, and there are certain things they can expect, and communication obviously has a lot to do with it as well. Extensive profile information, capturing data in terms of demographic, sociographic, decision-making responsibilities. Unlike managing your respondents through an elaborate Excel sheet, the online panel will allow you to store and maintain extensive profile information on each user that can be cross-referenced with previous survey participation. That is really a high value when it comes to housing your data and cross-referencing that data with previous survey participation when it comes to online panels. Those are things that you should really consider if you're building a panel. And ultimately reducing project costs. This is the big elephant in the room when it comes to research purists who continue to argue that data collection for online research is probably not as good as other methods such as telephone. And despite their infatuation with these data collection methodologies, they simply cannot argue that fact, especially considering where the economy is today, where market research companies are slashing their budgets left and right. And this also explains why methods such as telephone research is dying. It's too laborious, and the reality is running a project through an online panel will be significantly cheaper than other methodologies. So let's take a look at MicroPanel, what it offers, and some of the features you can find through our platform. MicroPanel is a community portal for panel registration and profile management. These are some of the things we talked about earlier in terms of the ability to create segments, demographic information, sociographic information. MicroPanel provides you with a dashboard where this can be created within seconds and published within seconds and ready to be used day one. Panel engagement tools. These are quick polls, message boards, respondent management, the ability to tap into other APIs and other products within the survey analytics ecosystem to bridge with the panel management platform, a unified software platform that combines surveys, reports, advanced analytics, some of the things we were talking about or Andrew was referring to in terms of SurveyPocket and other modules, and of course the panel management. Data delivery and online reporting. This is something we fused into one platform here where you can view survey data, you can view your panelist data, and you can cross-reference this data looking at the panel information and see how each respondent is able to respond to a survey question by looking at panel data and survey data all within one platform. Custom reward solutions. We very flexible in that capacity in terms of offering points, cash, gift certificate, a 1-to-1 ratio with regards to cost to reward. It can be instant points, or it can be individuals can accumulate points over time that they can redeem for cash or other prizes of their choice. Our custom reward solution can be integrated with any fulfillment center. In this case, we're using Amazon.com through the platform. We have other clients that are using different fulfillment reward catalogs, and it's a matter of just reviewing that API, make sure it adheres to certain specification codes, and we are very flexible in terms of implementing that within the panel management platform. Next slide, please, Esther. So here are the modules that we currently integrate within the MicroPanel environment. SurveySwipe, which is a smartphone application where you can create your own mobile communities by pushing in real-time surveys to respondents who owns a smartphone application. This module is integrated within the panel management platform with geo-targeting features where you can view where the respondent is located, and you can do a lot of competitive analysis surveys. If that person is entering a different store, you can push the information in real time. Very important in this day and age that we're living in. iPad app, which is what Andrew was talking about earlier a little bit along Survey Pocket, two products under our suite that can be combined with our panel management tools as well. Idea Scales, which is an idea generation software similar to a quasi-focus group where ideas can be rated and shifted and then can be analyzed in context to a focus group facility as well. These are all enterprise level solutions that if you have a license to, you can incorporate into our panel management software. And again, MicroPanel was introduced a little bit less than a year ago, but it's very rich in features. We make it very intuitive for our customers to use with very limited IT intervention, very rich, yet you don't have to pay the outrageous software licensing fees that you see out there for other platforms. Thank you very much. I will pass on. Oh, we have one more slide. Sorry. So what are the advantages for MicroPanel? It's an affordable software licensing fee that I mentioned earlier for small, medium, large firms that we target. We offer unlimited surveys, which is part of the platform, no additional data collection charges, unlimited questions, unlimited surveys. You can set up your survey in minutes, no upfront development charges for customizing your member portal. We have dedicated staff with expertise that can come in and take you step by step in what we call stick shift mode. It's a unified platform that combines surveys, reporting, analytics, mobile application, panels, and also polls that we do offer. We talked a little bit about the custom reward solutions, depending on your choice, whether you want to do drawings or points, cash, gift certificate. We're able to support all that at your convenience. Are we? Well, yeah, now I'm done. So I thank you again for your time. I'm going to pass the baton to, I believe, John, who will talk a little bit about some new upcoming stuff we have here.
Actually, it's me, but that's okay. Okay, great. So, the next thing we're going to talk about really is the stuff that people are really interested in is what's new on Survey Analytics. And these are things that, we are continually upgrading and adding on, and it's already included in your license. You don't have to pay extra for these features that we're about to show you. So that's a great thing to know. And as a t-shirt says, I love new stuff, and so should you. So first thing here is that we are allowing people to become main administrators and allow you to manage and update and add and delete your own sub-accounts. Basically in the past, in order for you to add your own sub-accounts or delete them, you had to contact your account manager, which is either me or John. But now you don't have to do that. So basically all you'd have to do is just, click on your email in the top right hand corner and then go ahead and just add. This is the quick screenshot basically of what you'll see. And it basically will notate that if you have a license or if your agreement doesn't include this new additional license, you will be notified by your account manager. You won't be charged. You actually won't be charged automatically unless you have a card on file. And if the charge is incorrect, we actually will be notified of this and we will let you know that the charges has been made. And if you accidentally did something and say, quickly, I didn't want to add that person, we can reverse things for you very quickly. So, like you, as a quarterback on the right or the left here, you basically can control the team that you have and pretty much move your sub accounts and your team members as needed. So that's one of the good things that we're giving back to you. The other thing that we are offering now is the FTP sync. If you're one of the clients who is using the FTP scheduler, and you as the main administrator want to see all of the reports being sent out underneath your license, you can now do that. Back in the days, people had to log into each individual sub account and see what was scheduled, but now as a main administrator you can go ahead and just click on the integrations tab, click on the FTP sync, and it'll pull up an entire report showing you when a particular FTP report was sent and by whom, and etc. So this is a great tool for people who want to keep track of all of the reports that are being sent out by the team. The next thing we have is QR codes. If you are following our blog, we have been making a little bit of noise about this. And QR codes are actually very popular in Southeast Asia and Asia, and also in the retail business. And we're deciding to bring this into online surveys. And basically what it is it's basically a quick response code that allows people to use their smartphones, and they can kind of wave it over that, and they can either access a survey or they can get a discount or something like that. And then you can use this in surveys to give out incentives, access privileges, or special surveys and more. So the respondent should have a QR reader. They're free and on all of the smartphone app stores out there. So if you're ever interested in going down this route, this is a fun way to get really interactive with your respondents. And the last thing we have that we just included, if you haven't seen this already, is that we have the ability to consolidate and combine and also export your reports. In the past, if you have multiple surveys that are pretty much the exact same, you had to download them each individually and then combine them manually. Now this tool will allow you to save some time, and you'll be able to go in and highlight. As you can see, you can highlight more than one, and then as long as the surveys are structured the same, then you can download and combine the reports, and you'll see a report that will combine all the answers together. So this is great for those who are doing similar or the same surveys but in different locations, but want to look at it under one umbrella report. You can do that here. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to John, who's going to speak to us about two other new items that we have on
Thank you.
Surveillance.
Thank you, Esther. My name is John. I'm an account manager for Survey Analytics. So let's talk a little bit about Developer API real quick. Developer API is a feature that is available on the enterprise platform. Of course, there may, depending on what features you like to use and to open up the access, there may be some additional costs, so you'll need to contact your account manager. But Developer API is great. The integration, basically, API allows developers to write integration applications through a single set of objective-oriented interfaces. And it's great if you're trying to increase efficiencies internally and bring in some of the maybe platforms or software solutions that you're using. Survey Analytics is a very integrated platform offering surveys, reporting, and etc. So the more ease of use that we can create on your side and integrate with the platforms that third-party platforms that you may be using, this is a great way to achieve that, such as integrating your existing ERP or CRM and build a highly customized, integrated, company-specific data collection system. Next slide, Esther. Next up, we have web analytics, and we have a couple of integrations that we can do here. Some of you guys may be familiar with Google Analytics or Omniture Site Catalyst. And Google Analytics is a web analytics solution that gives you insights, of course, into web traffic and marketing effectiveness. And Omniture goes a little bit more in depth to that and adding one place to measure and analyze and optimize integrated data for all online initiatives across multiple marketing channels. What this means for you is using the integration to understand offline influences, whether or not they're completing site goals, for example, or use the integration to help segment your website data, such as when visitors indicates that they very likely to purchase. You can compare the content consumption and website activity to the average visitor to understand the high value of the segment. Also tie together the reasons for your visits with site activity. The next slide, Esther. We make it very easy within our platform. Web Analytics setup, as you can see here. To get started, you must have an existing GA or Omniture account. You want to go to select the integration tab, click Web Analytics or enable or Omniture. You can field map up to 5 variables in your survey's questions. You can engage debugging to make sure that the script is working correctly. And then you want to make sure you always save changes. Next slide. On the back end, once you've deployed your survey and respondents have started answering your questions and data has been rolling back into Survey Analytics, that data is also being passed through over to Google Analytics or Omniture. And you are now able to use all the dashboard features that are available there, such as looking at your visitors and tracking your sources and tying that data back to the custom variables you've set through your survey. Also on this platform, you can also segment data, create custom reports, etc. I think that's all we have there for Web Analytics. Correct, Esther?
Yep, that pretty much is it. If you guys are all interested in learning more about all these new products and or tools, feel free to contact us, and we'd be happy to either set up a demo or show you access and how to implement that in your current research strategy.